All right, refugee policy in question after this Ohio State campus attack. And what does Donald Trump do? We're already hearing that authorities now are not assigning any clear motive to the attacker yesterday who was killed. But the FBI is emphasizing that they are going through his Facebook postings as well as his high praise for the likes of Alaki and some other pretty bad guys. Former U.S. Army counterintelligence agent, of course, governor of my state of Virginia, was there for 9/11. Jim Gilmore. Governor, very good to have you. What do you make of what they're piecing together? I mean, they're looking for a motive. Obviously, killing people comes to mind, but what they're obviously trying to see if there was a wider connection with ISIS or just bad folks in general, right?
Well, it may be, but it doesn't have to be. You can have people in this country who are susceptible to that message. We're in the internet and communication society. People can hear these things, and then if they're unstable to begin with, then maybe they're going to turn around and do something like they were doing. And this just demonstrates that anything can be a weapon, and then it just gets amplified by the news media, and that's the nature of the war and the struggle that we're in right now.
It is interesting. He had a vehicle and was trying to do like a Nice-style attack that killed more than 70 people in France. So obviously to try to mimic that, we had warnings over the Thanksgiving holiday of similar attacks or threats from ISIS in New York. So they come up with different ideas based on the success of one idea, right?
Well, that's right. Listen, Neil, what I think needs to happen is this. I think the Muslim community in the United States, if we're going to continue to have people in the United States who are Muslims, they have to actually respond to a much more peaceful approach to the Muslim faith. Radical Islam is trying to take over that faith and to make it an enemy of the West. I believe that the good leaders of the Muslim community in the United States have a responsibility to reach out into their communities all across this country and to inform young people that murder, suicide, attacks, and this kind of response to people like ISIS on the internet is wrong. And I think with that kind of moral leadership, you can begin to get a control and a handle on this thing.
Still, you know, we do know about his Facebook post, the attacker, and the earliest or the latest were written just hours before these attacks, and I guess they're going back now finding what other venues he said things that were similar. But what do authorities do in that event to prevent future attacks? You start, you know, culling through everyone's Facebook, you know, rants. What do you do?
Well, we're a free country, so you can't go into everybody's Facebook and look over everybody's shoulder all the time. And that's why I'm emphasizing this. The message I'm getting out of the Muslim community of the United States is don't attack us, don't blame us, don't focus on us. That's the wrong message. The correct message is, listen, we're American citizens. We believe in this multicultural country. We have a role to play here, and we have a responsibility as Americans to talk to our young people and to make sure that they understand that murder and the following of that kind of radical interpretation of Islam is wrong. And that is part of the problem. Now, also supporting our counterintelligence and our police officials, well, that's necessary, too. When I chaired the Gilmore Commission, we emphasized the importance of local law enforcement as well as federal law enforcement.
Governor, thank you very much, and for your wide and varied service to this country. Appreciate it, sir.
Thank you, Neil.